Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about my all-in-one YouTube video stand. You know, the reason why I built something like this was I was tired of always having to tear down, set up, anytime I wanted to record a video. Now I do have my own little office area here, and I could leave it all up, but my daughter comes in here, my granddaughter comes in here, and I don't want something that getting accidentally knocked over and broke. You know as well as I do how expensive all this gear is that we use. My main goal on this was to simplify the process of creating videos. I don't know if you're like me, but anytime that I have an idea of a video that I want to create, if things are not just quick and easy to set up and go, chances are I'm not going to make it. So that's why I created this, and I'm sure you've seen this all over YouTube. I didn't come up with this idea. I'm just simply talking about what I use to make my own videos and make it easier for me to create these videos. You know, the biggest thing that I wanted to solve for myself was friction. And sometimes I don't want to have to create a video every time in my office. With this, I can wheel this around to any part of the house. As a matter of fact, we can wheel it around right now and change it up. Like say I wanted to shoot over here and have a different background, just like this. The light stays consistent and I have a different backdrop. The foundation of this setup is the Neewer heavy duty light stand. It's got the base and two extendable pieces that I can raise or lower depending on what I'm doing. If I want to stand up, I can stand up and adjust everything, and everything just stays the same. The mic stays at the same height, the light stays at the same height. You know, I needed a heavy duty stand because it's carrying some valuable equipment, some expensive equipment, my camera, my lens, my phone, my iPad, light, microphone. And then to mount all the stuff to the stand, I have I have 3 super clamps and baby pins. The super clamps allow me to mount anything that I need without having to get some type of special bracket or anything like that to be able to mount all of my equipment. So starting at the top, I have my light mounted, and as you know, everybody says that lights need to be mounted at about a 45-degree angle to you. So I achieved that by buying the Neewer offset arm. It allows me to extend my light away from the stand to get that 45-degree angle. But it allows me to get my light high enough so I have the 45-degree angle that everybody talks about. And speaking of light, my light that I chose for this setup is the new Amaran Pano 120C. I have a softbox on it. It also comes with a grid. I'm sure you've seen it around YouTube. I can make a separate video on that light if you would like. Just let me know down in the comments below. It's small, it's lightweight, it fits on this stand perfectly. I wanted something bright enough for these YouTube videos that wasn't overpowering, that wasn't really bulky like, you know, a cob light and a big softbox. That would be massive on this setup. And I wanted it still lightweight enough that I could wheel this stand around and I wasn't worried about it hanging off of the stand itself. For audio, I'm using the Rode Video Mic Go-To, and it's always mounted to the stand unless I'm gonna take it off and use it with the DJI Mic 2 and kind of do a handheld type deal. It's always mounted to this stand. It takes no batteries. I just turn the camera on, plug the mic in, and I have great sounding audio. I wanted the audio for this setup to be as simple as possible. You know, this microphone stays, like I said, stays mounted the entire time to this stand. I don't have to worry about charging it. I don't have to worry about charging transmitters or receivers or anything with the wireless setups that we have. And I know they're great and the batteries last a long time on them. This is just something that I wanted for this stand. It's permanently mounted. I have that mounted on an NO Gear boom arm. This is perfect for this setup. I have the microphone just out of view of the camera. It's right up here. As you can see, I can pull it down. There it is. Raise it right back up. It's fully adjustable. That's another thing that ties into one of my super clamps is this microphone stand. You know, instead of putting the microphone on the camera, I wanted to mount it on its own boom arm so it's not mounted to the camera. I can get it closer to me, and that lets me keep it close enough to me for great audio while still out of frame. Something that I'm not using today is the Elgato prompter. When I'm in my office, I do use it sometimes to script these videos to make it just easier and quicker for me, but that would obviously live on front of my camera if I had it here for this video. Let's talk about my camera. I use the Sony a7C Mark II with I have the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 Mark II, and then I have the 16-35 Sony PZ f4 lens. This lens that I'm currently using is the Sigma lens. That's also mounted with the super clamp with an extension and then a baby pin and then a ball head. On my camera I have the Falcam cage, and it uses the f38 system, the f22 system, and on top of my ball head I have the f38 quick release adapter, so I can just slide my camera in there and I'm good to go. Again, less friction. Below my camera, I have my iPad Pro 11-inch mount. I use this as my monitor through the Sony Monitor and Control app. It's completely changed the way that I use my setup. This, using an 11-inch monitor, is so much better than using the little monitor on the back of a camera. I can always check my focus, I can check my exposure, I can adjust everything on here that I need. I can cycle through the user alerts that I've loaded to my camera, I can adjust the ISO. So I'm using the Anker 737 power bank. It's a 24 milliamp battery. It's got more than enough power in it to do what I need it to do for this type of setup. So this is completely wireless setup. And by wireless, I mean I'm not plugged into a wall. Like I said, I could go out into the middle of my driveway with this setup. Now, given I wouldn't need the light, but I could run it. I could charge my camera from this, my phone, my iPad, whatever I needed to do, just in case. This is a great power bank if you're looking for a power bank. I have had it for over a year now, and I've had zero issues with it. Now, something else you need to consider if you're going to build yourself a stand like that is you want to weight it down. You don't want this to have all of this expensive equipment on there, and then you go to move it, and because it's lopsided a little bit, it falls over and damages all your equipment. So I bought a sandbag. They're dirt cheap on Amazon. I think I got 4 for like maybe 20 bucks, 10, 20 bucks. And then just had to buy some sand and throw it in there. It just keeps it more stable when you're rolling it around. You know, once you start hanging expensive gear off of this stand, this is just a cheap insurance to keep everything stable. So when I'm not using my teleprompter for these videos, I do use my iPhone as just keeping my notes, keeping my bullet points, keep me on track of what I need to talk about. And that lives to the right side of my camera, right over here. And it's just a small rig, super clamp, a friction arm, and then a MagSafe mount. So I can just throw my phone up there real quick, press record, scroll through my notes. You know, all of this setup, like I said earlier, is to let me create quicker, less friction, more video. None of these pieces of gear are revolutionary by themselves, but I think the real benefit is when you combine all of these into this one stand, that it really becomes really beneficial for me, at least for me. Like I said, it probably takes me a minute to set all this up. Throw my camera on there, plug in my iPad, not really plug it in, but slide it into the clamp, mount my iPhone if I need to, plug in my light to my battery bank and turn it on, and I'm hitting record on there. And I'll see you on the next one.